They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in 01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King CURT. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King CURT, your host of the OG2CENTS podcast. I know it's been a while. I've been on a nice little break. This season's schedule's been kind of hectic, but we're back. And I'll definitely be dropping an episode each and every week for the remainder of the year. So I just thanks everybody who's been patient and waiting. And also still supporting. So I definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to Apple, give us a 5-star rating. That helps us out a lot. Also, you can catch it on Spotify, iHeart, and any other major streaming platforms. Make sure that you keep supporting the podcast. Appreciate y'all. Let's continue to stand against any forms of social justice and racism. And this episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens, so you have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode 83, Demon JT. Jonathan Fields has always been a man of many talents, even well before he joined the NBA 2K League's broadcast team. Though he is best known by his gamer tag Demon JT, he went by the alias of Fresh Prince JT when he was drafted by Wizards District Gaming with the 12th overall pick in Season 1 of the NBA 2K League. 2 years later, he found a new home when he was traded to Pistons GT. In his long season with Detroit, he averaged 16.3 points per game, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals, while shooting 49% from the field. While Demon JT currently does not play in the NBA 2K League, he is determined to eventually make his way back. Until then, he has submerged himself in the community in various ways. He was on the league broadcast this season for the first ever 2K League 3v3 tournament, and can be commonly found in community spaces on Twitter. He also competed in the UPA World Championships in Vegas at Space Jam Esports, this time playing lock, and once again proving to the world that there's more to Jonathan Field than meets the eye. I've had the pleasure of knowing JT from way back when he was dominating the Pro-Am scene back in 2017. Definitely a good friend of mine. He'd also tell you that it's been probably way overdue for me to have him on the show. But without further ado, JT, Demon JT. What's going on, JT? How you doing, man?
It's been a while. I was like, me and him go back when I'm going to get my invite. Took a good 3-4 years, but it's going good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, bro.
No, and you know what? Forgive me on that. I mean, most of the time, it's a conflict of interest during the seasons, especially since I joined the league. But now I try to hit the players up in the off season and get them on and things of that nature. But I know you're a Chi-Town kid. Now you done been across the globe throughout the league, but now you're in Cali. just talk about, your life right now and what's going on in Cali.
To be honest, I always been a East Coast kind of guy. And then Detroit came and I met my girl who lived in LA, and she ended up coming to Detroit during the pandemic. And I'm like, okay, let's see, let's take a trip. LA always been my end game. And then, season 4 draft comes. I'm still in my Detroit apartment with Ramo. I go undrafted. I'm like, what's next? Back home? No. Stay in Detroit? No. LA? Yeah. So found an apartment with my girl, moved back out here. LA is beautiful, expensive, but it's beautiful. It's definitely, I can see why it's been my end game. It's so many things to do. It's so many networking events. It's just a lovely city through and through. So my life is just really just exploring it whenever I can, whenever I'm not working or making content, just go out and live, restaurants, new events, like just do anything I never thought I would do years ago. Just live life to the fullest. Gotcha.
And, you joined the 2K League for the broadcast. Definitely not a surprise for me. I mean, I think I can think all the way back, watching you play and pro-am and streaming. You always had that charisma about yourself that kept people engaged. Talk a lot of shit. Get real hype. Everything like that. I think I've seen you mature over time, and when I say that, it means like just I've seen you get older and you deal with things a lot different and things of that nature. But like I said, definitely not a surprise to see you on the broadcast. You did a damn good job doing that. It just seemed like a natural fit. And it seems like that's going to be something that's down the lane. But talking about, I want before you get into that, we're in season 5. I know you've been watching the 3v3, watching the 5v5. Just give me your overall thoughts on the season and just some of the action that you've been paying attention to.
I feel like this is the best season we've had. I feel like usually over the years, not to take shots at nobody, but for example, last year, the Lakers and Bucks were terrible. I don't really see that this year. I don't see a team that's a free dub. I see teams that even primarily, the Cavs have 1 point, but the Cavs have had several close games. Cavs have blown games. I feel like this is the most competitive it's ever been. Every team has had their chance to really have a solid record. It's just a big difference between who can close, who can execute their game plans for 4 quarters, who can adjust, things of those sorts. But I love what I'm seeing from just the 5v5 aspect of the competition, of just how close it is, how close these teams are. As far as 3v3 goes, I feel like it's really a want-to from teams. I feel like it's more so a lack of players wanting to buy in, wanting to do something new. But that's when it kind of comes down to, as a player, even back when I was a player, we want more money, we want longer contracts. To do that, you have to find a way to keep bringing money to the league, because as a player, 9 out of 10, you don't bring money to the league. So if you're not trying to do different things to bring money to the league, why would they give you more money? So it's players who are playing for 150K multiple times. That's every 3v3 event, 150K. That's extra money. But it's some players like, man, I don't like this, man. Forget this. I'm not with it. Okay, say that. You don't like money. It's okay. I get the schedule's not the best. I do. But what starts off perfect? You trying to tell me season 1, 5v5 was perfect? It was plenty of problems. I would know. I was there. So just in a sense, I'm happy to strive 5v5 is going. I'm seeing teams take 3v3 more serious, going more buying into it. So I'm kind of happy where that's going too. I just can't wait until everybody just really buys in, locks in, and tries their best to win money.
No, without a doubt, I always say that we all playing the same game. Like at the end of the day, you know how it is better than anybody. I mean, 2K sometimes is going to rock with you, and sometimes it's not. So in those situations, you just got to do the best you can at controlling what you can control at the end of the day. And it made a lot of valid points in there. And just to kind of like piggyback off of some of the things you mentioned, like when how you look at it now and when you was a player, is there anything that you kind of, if you could go back and change some things about your career thus far, what would those things be?
One thing, content. I feel like nobody in the league does consistent content. And of course, we make excuses. Oh, it's hard. After the scrim blocks, we don't want to. But at the end of the day, one thing I know none of us want to do is go back to work a regular 9 to 5. When the league is done, nobody wants to go back and work for the man, have some boss who makes every call you do, who picks your schedule. You want to do that. So that's it. Like season 2, I was horrible. I was heartbroken. My career was horrible. I wouldn't even take that back because it made me a better person. I needed that. I needed that growth. I needed that heartbreak. I needed that terrible season, that org to stop believing in me, to really find out who I am as a man. I needed that. So it's just content. Really, for 3 years, especially with my personality, push the content. Don't take a break, blow up off the content, because that's what I want to do anyway. Like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 ever again. I don't view commentating as a 9 to 5. It's too short. I want to just continuously build content. So that's the only thing I would change is content. Career-wise, all that happened for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I would just change me not doing content how I should have done it.
Got you. Just to circle back on the broadcasting, how did that come about? Like, I mean, I think, like I said, it was no surprise to me when I seen you, come on and join the broadcasting team. But like, how did that happen?
I'm gonna be honest. Last year, they spoke on getting players back in, and it was more so of a one-time appearance thing. And for some reason, when that came about and it was a one-time appearance thing and my watch party streams were shut down, I'm like, okay, we're shutting down my watch party streams. That means that me doing a one-time appearance, it doesn't benefit me because money was already taken out my pockets. So like, why do I help? But then this year came around, I was hit up the day before the draft about it. And I'm like, okay, so I guess y'all know something I don't know. I guess I'm not getting drafted. There's no way y'all would know that, but okay. All right. So draft comes, goes through. I don't get drafted, but I told them that day, the day before the draft, I know it's a chance because of my narratives, not my skill. I don't make it. So I'm with it. I don't get drafted. I'm with it. So that's how that came about. They kind of came to me. And the funniest part is I was only supposed to do once a week, never go to Indy. But it's like when I got in there, I blew the roof off it. I kicked the door down. That's how you're supposed to do it. You don't always need this big red carpet, this big opening. You need that small window to see what you could do. Take that small window, you exceed expectations, great things will come. Now look at me. I'm in Indy. I'm working every day of the week for 3v3s now. Like, it's crazy. Like what you can really do when you just put yourself to it and try to do the best you can do. And when I do it, it's like, I don't think. Like I told you earlier, like you ask me something, you tell me something, I don't do scripts. They ask me, what about scripts? I don't need them. I got that quick switch. Camera turns on, I got you. I'm a BJT in a more professional way, but I'm still that guy when it comes to entertainment. So I know how to entertain on different platforms in different ways and different varieties.
No, you definitely proved that. I mean, like I said, it wasn't no surprise to me. It's a few people who just got that it factor like that. I mean, I think, I had a chance to manage, one player in particular that had it like that. I think Tox does a great job naturally in front of the camera and on the mic. I mean, so you definitely, fit the rim of what we need, like something fresh. And like I knew after a while, I didn't know how many years like it would probably take because we still young at it when we look at it. Just in anything, 5 years is not a long time to be doing anything, but getting former players back into the mix and being able to give a different point of view, a different perspective, different energy, and different insight. So I think everybody's happy to see it. So therefore, is it, is broadcasting something that you can see yourself doing, for a long period of time?
I do. The only reason I say I do, I feel like it opens so many doors. Like how I'm broadcasting 2K right now. I could be broadcasting real life basketball next year, different esports next year. Commentating and broadcasting is really it's such a wide venue. It's such a big thing. It's not like if I'm doing this well and I show you I know this as well. If it's a whole different game, you're like, okay, we could use that type of energy. Like, who wouldn't love him? Who wouldn't like him? So long-term wise, definitely how the league is set up currently, 6 months, 1-year contracts. I stay with my girl now. I'm used to that life, like home, grown up life. I'll be 30 next year. I turn 29 in 10 days. Right. So like I'm not young no more. So I can't think like a young dude no more. So when it comes to being long term, this fits because especially with what the league's doing, I'm going to Indy once every month for some days, and the rest I get to work at home and do content, do whatever I want. That fits the life I'm trying to live, rather than leave a girl I've been with for 2 years for 6 months and have to have her visit and do all this other stuff, or even have to make her uproot and leave a better city for, anywhere, because it's LA. Like anywhere you go is basically a downgrade. But long term, yeah, I can see myself doing.
Got you. Now, with you explaining everything that you just explained, now, does that mean are you gonna give it another go at the league, or are you saying you unofficially retired, or are you saying that?
I'm so undecided. My girl told me I'm retired. My girl told me, you're retired. We have nothing to talk about. You had fun. You're done. When it comes to me, I still miss it. I still miss it when I do it. That's part of where my energy comes from. Part of my energy is from a player. Miss being out there, seeing how dudes are just making these mental mistakes, seeing how dudes are making these big hero plays that are panning out. Like, I love it all. I loved every up and down as a player. I do miss playing it. I do miss being competitive. I watched that Wizards T-Wolves game. I'm like, man, that's my environment. That type game, I'm thriving in that. I'm yelling. I'm like, I love it. That made me miss it more than any moment in these last 2 years. That moment between Bear and Awkward, I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need more of. So am I retired? I can't answer that. I feel like it's something I have to decide at a later date. But the only reason it's even a question is because I don't know what else I can do. I switched positions. I got off guard. I did what I was told. I was one of the best off of guard. I don't know what else to do. Like 2 years off, being off of guard and doing what I'm told and still not making it when I know I'm good enough, when I know my personality's there, but teams are worried about fits and stigmas and narratives. Stop assuming, talk to me. But teams don't do that. I've only had maybe 6 interviews in the last 2 seasons total. Was it 24 teams? Come on. You trying to tell me these teams are too good for JT when they got 2 points, 1 point, 3 points through 2 events? Stop it. I can help your trash team. I promise. If your team is trash, you probably lack a leader. That's what I am. But you look over me because of stigmas and narratives that 9 out of 10 are lies at the worst. I will always tell everybody the truth. I will, because if I lie and somebody tell you the truth, I look dumb. So I'm gonna tell you the truth so you can hear my side of things, my spin on things. So then you can take what you want from it. But if I lie to you about myself, then I'm only hurting my own image. But teams don't like to just look and ask and really find out what the problem is, what went wrong, what was your spin. So that's my biggest thing. If I knew I could make it, I probably would go again. I do miss it that bad, but it's no promise. And that grind is crazy. That 6-month grind is ridiculous. It is really night in, night out. 2K is not part-time. Unless you are retained, you are not taking 3-4 days off a week. You can't. You have to put in 5, 6, sometimes even 7. All these tourneys, all these leagues, there is no breaks. You take a 5-day vacation, you are missing something. I went on a cruise last year with my girl. I missed 5 player tourneys. 5 for a 5-day cruise. I missed 5 chances for a league spot. Without the drop in, I wouldn't even been in the pool. But that's crazy. 5 days. I missed 5 days near a holiday, and I missed out on 5 different opportunities. That's what I'm saying. Is that life is more so for a younger dude if you're not guaranteed. I'm older now. I need more so of a more stability, more long term. And the league is not really long term. And I'm seeing that with a player like me. Other players have it different. Cool, but I'm not other players. I have to focus on JT. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm still thinking about it, pondering it every day.
Gotcha. And it's segue, you mentioned about the Wizards and T-Wolves series. I just want you to talk about the turn in general, from JT's point of view, just break down the turn for us.
The turn is my favorite part of the year. I did find out recently that it's called the turn because it's the turning point. Didn't know that, even though I was a player. But I feel like it's where you see what teams haven't figured out. You see what teams really have gelled and have figured the game out on both ends, what to do, what sets to call, rotations, everything. So if you're still not good at this point, you're not in trouble, but your time is running out. You have seed weeks, you had a ticket. You do not have much time. So I love the turn because I really see what teams are. And some teams, the greatest part about now, some teams in remote, they're like, okay, they're kind of whack or they're up and down. Then they get on stage and it's like, where's this been at? Prime example, Philadelphia. They have now went 2-3 in the tip-off and the turn. Both times went 2-3. Went to the finals in the tip-off, and then went to the finals and won in the turn. Like, it's so weird, but it's like some players just need that. Some players need to be in that environment. That's what made season 3 so weird for me. I'm used to being on the stage, being able to yell, getting yelled at. Now you're trying to tell me I'm in a room, not with my teammates. I'm in my bedroom. I have to make sure my bed is made because it's a big fly pack in my room, recording everything. And that's all I got. Like, the league is looking at me in my room like I'm streaming in the offseason when I'm playing a league game. So this point, I like what I'm seeing from a lot of teams. And the ticket to me is wide open. It's wide open. I feel like players are, in a sense, they could do anything. Like I said, it's the most competitive it's been. So in a ticket, anybody can win. Seed weeks, anybody can take off and turn up and get 4 points, get 5 points. This league is that competitive. So the turns just showed me I'm ready. Look at the Wizards. Wizards were not good to start the season. Look at them now. They beat the T-Wolves. Who had them beating the T-Wolves? Nobody. I had to be competitive, but I had the Wolves in 3, the Wizards in 3, and they matched them. They battled with them, with the best team in the league. When they played the Sixers, in my opinion, they were gassed. Is that an excuse before they lost? No, because Philly was mentally not all the way there too because of other situations that I won't name because don't have time to be getting in trouble for that. New job now. But yeah, I do like what I'm seeing from the league at this point, especially with the turn. I feel like they really, teams are figuring it out. Teams are getting better. The worst teams will probably start to try new things, but there's still so much time left, or not so much, a little bit of time left with the seed weeks of both leagues. That's what I feel like the worst teams have to lock in on. If you're not one of the better teams in 5v5, become that team in 3v3. A lot of the good teams in 3s are not the top teams in 5s. Like, actually, I think none of them. None of the top, who went Wizards and Wizards. Yeah, Wizards. But then Dukes went there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still so much more money to be made. It's two months left in the season. Just lock in, or not 2.5 months. So, but I'm happy for what I seen with turn.
Yeah, just to stay on cue, probably my last question regarding the 2K League. Just I want at this point of the season, JT's, MVP candidate, most improved, coach of the year. I want you to give me your prediction on who you think at this point, or who may at the end of the season bring home some hardware as far as individual awards.
MVP. My MVP right now is Bear. I feel like he's the most efficient PG this season by far. The way he runs that number one ranked offense in every category: efficiency, field goal percentage, 3-point percentages, and they're not even top 5 in possessions. They're not top 5 in possessions, but they lead the league in scoring. That goes to show you how efficient and how cohesive that unit is, that offense is. So my MVP is Bear because the number one, they're the best team in the league. So it's kind of like when you're the best team in the league, who's the best player? You could say Kai, but at the same time, I feel like Bear's that leader. He's that engine. He is what it starts with him, and then they pick up afterwards. Most improved. That's a tough one because all the most improves I had are not improving. They actually, took a nosedive a little bit. So most improved, man. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go lock because I can't think of a guard right now that's most improved. But I'm gonna go TB. I feel like TB really went from a team that he was okay on to now he's really a pivotal game changer. He's literally, I think the only person I would put over him for DPOY is Awkward. Like TB has made that big of a jump. What year have we been able to say that about TB? And he was in the league season 3, 4, and now 5. But he's never been in that top upper echelon of locks until now. So when I think most improved, that's kind of how I view it. Of course, if I did some research and thought about it, I'm gonna pick a guard, whoever was, kind of cheeks or average, and then kind of shot it up. But right now, just off the dome, I'm gonna go TB. Coach of the year. I'm gonna go Nick. I feel like Nick is just consistently good. He's been good in both group plays. He's been good both times in Indy. I feel like it's hard to argue right now with him being the number one team by far. Like I think they're up 6 points in the West. That's a lot. Philly just won, and they're up on the Wizards by 1.
Yeah, they also have a chance, I think, to do something that hasn't been done thus far, especially with us going to conferences, but being back-to-back number one seeds in the West.
Yeah, see, so it's like, how do you go against that? How do you go against a dude who hasn't even hit a rough spot in the road? Their worst performance is what? The semis? They've only lost a maximum of 1 game in group play. Like, they're dominating. And when they are faced with adversity, when they are faced with tough games, they still pull it out. They're still that team that, okay, it's cool. You came out punching them in the mouth. You came out swinging with them for a half. That third quarter comes, flood. Or even through 3 quarters, that fourth quarter comes, flood. Like, so it's like, I just don't know who else you pick when he's doing the stellar job he's doing with that team.
Rookie of the year?
Easily Gallo. Easily. I don't know how if it's anybody else, I would love to hear the argument. Because right now, for me, it's Gallo. He's on a 6'2" build with a 92 dunk, with an 88 3 ball, and he's doing both. He's 300 like he's on the traditional 3-point shooting build, but he's on a dunking build, doing what he's doing, really hooping with a new team at that. He doesn't have a team full of vets. He has a rookie shooting guard, a rookie lock, a second-year power forward, and a vet center. He has 1 vet on his team, 1. And he's doing what he's doing. I got to tip my hat. Gallo.
Got you. Before we get to the rapid fire question, I just want to ask, I carry the name OG King CURT, but it's definitely the first generation players are the OGs of this whole 2K league infrastructure. I mean, I want to ask right now, what is your current thoughts about the state of Pro-Am in today's game?
I feel like Pro-Am is, I don't want to say in shambles, but it's like when post-draft hits, a lot of players that I didn't see at all, they come around, they come about, then, oh, I shouldn't be here, or I should be in the league, or I could be in the league. Where were you when it mattered? What were you with the big dogs? Where were you when all the comp was there? You weren't nowhere to be found. And also feel like people don't stick it out no more. Like as OG back in the day, like we took a team and we stuck it out. Like we figured it out. We went through the bumps. We went through the hard roads and we figured it out. Now it's just snake this, snake that. Oh, this offer. Grass not always greener. You could get the 5 best players in the league. 8 out of 10, that team won't be good because personalities have to mesh. It'll be a bunch of voices, still need a leader, still need cohesiveness. That's really what the Pro-Am community is now. It's too many people thinking the grass is greener on the other side. They don't take time to just find out what works for them, what's the best situation for them, and just stick it out. So that's my only worry is it's just teams don't stick it out. It's too many snakes, too many teams don't work. That's the one thing I say about Space Jam. For the past 8 years, I think I've been the most consistent when it comes to lineups. I probably make one change a year, if that. In those 6 months, I'll change out one player. If it just doesn't work that bad, I'll change it. But for the past 3 years, I want to say I've changed like 2 people when it comes to what I've started the year with. And I still been competitive. Am I winning as much as I would like to? No. But at the same time, I'm more so doing what I want to do because all that winning doesn't matter as much as people think. I seen Merck last year win everything with Vandy A and all that. He went undrafted. So don't tell me it's a defined, definite algorithm to making the league. It's not. So everybody out there who wants to make the league, oh, if I win this much, I'm gonna make it. Nah, you need eyes on you. And you need to be dominant while doing it and be doing so many other things. Be able to market, be able to be entertaining, be able to show how you are as a person. Like it's just so many things to make the league. But the Pro-Am is worried about one thing, winning. It can only be one winner at the end of the day. All y'all can't win. So what else can you bring to an org? What else can you show yourself as a person? Because it can only be one winner. Same 2K League, it'll be one winner this season. 5 players. 5. It's over 100. Over 100 of them will be losers when this is over. So, but what have you done? What have you changed? Have you grown as a person? Have you grown as a teammate? Have you grown as a man? Like, it's so much that goes into experiences and people just kind of short themselves and say, oh, I'm not winning, so boom. Everybody can't win, bro. Everybody will never be able to win. So what can you really do outside of winning? If that's all you offer, then it's like, what are you doing it for? Because everybody can't win. But at the end of the day, I do think that this community will start to go up as it gets older. We're at a very young stage where that's who our best players are. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. At 16 to 20, 21, those are half of the best upcoming prospects. More than that, most of the best prospects left are underage or just coming of age. So they're still trying to figure the world out itself while trying to get drafted.
Nah, good point and well said. At this moment, as OG wants to know, rapid fire questions, answer open, honestly, as quick as possible. Biggest influence?
Aside from myself, my biggest influence is my family.
What motivates you?
Aside from myself, again, my biggest motivation, everything, meaning haters, supporters, lovers, everything. You can find motivation in everything in life if you want it bad enough.
Got you. Best part about being a streamer?
Being myself. Best part about being a streamer is being able to just turn this, hit start live, go live, and just be me and not be fake at all.
Okay. Best advice you ever received?
Best advice I've ever received was to just find you and be you in the loudest way possible. Learn how to just live life on your own accord. Listening to everybody else will have you down the road wondering what's next. If you always follow your heart and what you want to do, then you'll always be fine.
Most memorable 2K League moment?
All right. That's a tough one. Most memorable 2K League moment. It might be versus y'all in season 3 when I had 40-something and random smashed his keyboard and the game got closed out because the game before I had like 8-9 turnovers. It was a do or die win. And my team looked at me like, JT, come on. And I'm like, all right, bro, I'm about to snap. And once it happened, I'm like, oh, man, I would have had more than that. But, he hit the dash on me. He had the Tony Snell stats.
Hey, quick funny story about that. I actually had to use the bathroom. I went to use the bathroom and was on my way back, and he had already quit out the game and was walking past me. I ain't know what was going on. Favorite video game?
2K.
All right. Favorite teammate you ever played with?
Tough. Give me Ramo.
Favorite 2K of all time?
2K17 when I was the best in the world.
Definitely, and I was there to witness it, brother.
Best in the world. Wish we had the league back then.
Hey, I say that it came way too late for a lot of people.
Man.
Hey, favorite content creator?
I'm gonna go DS Biffle. I watch him play, and he's not the most entertaining. Like, he's funny, of course. Like, he has a cool sense of humor, but stick-wise, he's the best COD player above and beyond. And that's what I love more than anything. I love seeing dudes just dominate. And when I watch him play Warzone, it's nobody better. He's in his own class. He's amazing.
Favorite thing to do when you're not gaming or streaming?
Favorite thing to do when I'm not gaming and streaming, I love to do anything out the house. Meaning, if that's going to the movies with my girl, going to a new restaurant, traveling, I just love to go out and try something new, because life, you can't take nothing with you. You could lose money at any time. The best thing you will have in this world is experience. It is memories. So at the end of the day, my biggest thing is to get experience and to get the most memories I can while I'm here.
Well, it's been a great time, JT. Before we get out of here, I want you to give everybody every single account you have where they can keep up with you.
That's pretty simple. I've been that guy for years now. So at Demon JT, verified on Instagram, verified on Twitter, getting there on Twitch, but Demon JT on every single thing. Like, that's the one thing I love about my name now is, even though I miss Fresh Prince a little bit, wasn't that happy when the league told me I had to change that. And the best part about it was they told me and gave me 30 minutes. They gave Shump 2 days, told him, hey man, Shump not gonna do it. Donahue called me 1:30. He said, hey JT, we got till 2:00.
Hey, JT, so before we get out of here, I just want to, plug people in, let them know how they can catch up with you on all accounts. Just plug away, man.
Best thing about me, I've been that dude for a little while now. So, all my names match everything. Verified on Twitter at Demon JT with an underscore. I don't know what troll has has it without the underscore. IG verified Demon JT without the underscore. Twitch, same thing, Demon JT, no underscore. So basically, if you want to find me, it's Demon JT. Even on Google, same thing. Wherever you need me, Demon JT, I promise you will find me. It's only one of those.
Well, you heard it. A great guy to keep up with, doing some big things. Definitely can't wait to see him back on the 2K League stream here soon. But thanks for coming by, JT. Long-time friend. And I wish you nothing but the best out there in the city of Angels, man.
Thank you, OG. Thank you for even bringing me on. It's been a pleasure.
And I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into this episode. Definitely enjoyed my time with Demon JT. If you haven't, like I said, already subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Also, make sure you subscribe to all the OG2CENTS podcasts on all major streaming platforms. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on social media at OG King CURT. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find the OG2CENTS podcast on social media as well. The OG2CENTS podcast, that's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can go to www.OGKingCurt for everything OG King CURT and the OG2CENTS podcast. I definitely appreciate it. You can find that everything that's going on with the OG right there at www.ogkingcurt.com. As you may all know, ambassador for DrinkCTRL. DrinkCTRL contains all you could ask for from a powdered meal replacement shake. Not only the stuff that you've heard of, like proteins, healthy carbohydrates, fiber, and healthy fats, but even the things you might not normally pay attention to. Over 5 grams of naturally occurring BCAAs, 22 plus vitamins and minerals, prebiotic fiber to promote healthy gut bacteria, MCTs to support appetite control and satiation, and finally, digestive enzymes to support healthy digestion. But the most important thing, it tastes just like the bottom of the cereal bowl. So go to DrinkCTRL.com and use the code OGKingCurt for discounts on their products. Shout out to my team, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, Cy Evermore, and Matrix for help making the OG2CENTS podcast what it is. Definitely appreciate you guys. Make sure you tune in each and every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BNC for EsportsXTRA. That's what host Larry Ridley, the crew, Coach K, producer extraordinaire, Durban Royale, Andrea Richmond, a.k.a. Bordy McBoard, Brandon Bell, Jay Alford, and Antonio Williams. And, of course, OG King CURT. You can catch EsportsXTRA every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow EsportsXTRA on Twitter at EsportsXTRA and on Instagram. If you want any OG King CURT and the podcast apparel, make sure to go to skulls.com/OGKingCurt and get your OG King CURT and OG2CENTS merch. Use the code OG 15% and shop today. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode. And remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.